Okay, so I was sitting here eating pizza, so I'm gonna do this real quick and get back to that. This video is not long anyway. So I was just on the computer eating pizza and I came across something interesting. Not one, but two different endings for South of Nowhere. Both called 5 years later, both go in opposite directions. One was filmed right after the show ended because the fans weren't happy about how it ended. In fact, I found someone who did like a reaction and recap right after the finale aired 10 years ago, so, and she was less than happy. I thought it was okay. But yeah, so let's start with the first one. It's a webisode, and they did webisodes after each episode. Now, based on my research, I thought it was just, Mandy Musgrave, who's Ashley, and Gabrielle Kristen, who's Spencer, just talking during a commercial break to the audience, and apparently that's something else entirely. The webisodes actually extend each episode story-wise. I didn't watch them all, I just watched the last 3 to get an idea. And so we'll talk about those first. Apparently, the last 2 episodes were made because the fans weren't happy. Like, they were made, like, they had a contest for the fans to basically write the episodes, I guess, kind of. So that was pretty interesting. And the one that caught my attention is called 5 years later. It's like the ending. Although the other one they filmed, this is the ending. They did 2 of them. One is Spencer moving in with Ashley, and then this one, 5 years later, is Spencer and Ashley are married. So I was right, apparently. I did my research before and it said spouse. But then I watched season 3 and I guess I was wrong. I wasn't wrong. I was right. So yeah. And they're starting a family. Ashley's pregnant and the father is Aiden. Ashley's on again, off again. I'm mixed on that, but other than that, I liked it, man. It's just them trying to come up with baby names. And they wound up landing on the name of a character who was killed off earlier in the season. I thought that was pretty cool. Nice callback. And then it ends with Ashley and Spencer kissing, like really kissing. They didn't really do that on the show. They kissed, but it was a stage kiss, And both actresses said that they wish they could have done more, like, a straight couple, but this world is what this world is. But I guess on the internet, it's okay, you can do it. It was like a real legit kiss. And so that's how it ended, and I thought it was pretty cool. Now, the other 5 years later actually happened 3 years later, via a series of short films written by one of the writers on the show, Nancy Lee Myatt, was also a producer on the show and directed the pilot episode. And this was their effort to bring it back on MTV. As such, you hear words like fuck and shit. So that tells you what they were, what direction it would have went in. They cussed before, but they didn't say like fuck or shit like they did in this one. So in this one, basically everyone's reuniting for Ashley's mother, who's opening this shelter for children who've been through, you name it, kind of abuse, and she wants to help them. And the highlight wasn't even Spencer and Ashley, it was the monologue by Spencer's mother, man. Like, towards the end of season 3, I did start to believe she was no longer a homophobe, and she was making a face turn, which, if not a wrestling fan, a face is a good guy, and a heel is a bad guy. But in this 5 years later fan film, she went full on babyface, man. Like, I fully believe her now, man. And like, they get back a lot of the cast for this too, as well as people behind the scenes. So it's 2-part short films. They're both on YouTube, as well as the other 5 years later. It's all on YouTube, and the webisodes, every single one, are on the Inge website, which don't surprise me that that's still up, because WCW has a website still up. I think it's WCW Thunder of all things. So anyway, but yeah, and in the short film 5 years later, everybody's doing what they're doing, where they been, where they are now. Ashley and Spencer, who are not together. In fact, it looks not good. When I first heard her say fuck, she was like, hey, fuck you, you don't know. I was like, whoa, what happened? But yeah. And so, and there's no, end in this one, because the idea was this was a pitch, really, for the possible movie, or I wanted to go to MTV. But MTV didn't want it, which is funny, because a few years later, in 2013, 2014, they did their own show about two girls and their friendship and, who they are and who they're figuring out who they are, what they are. Only the twist is only one of them is in the women. And when they kiss, it's almost magical. That's one of the good things. Like, wow, I know. But imagine that. Made their own show about it. And there are comparisons. In fact, in the comment section of these short films, you better believe that's what they were talking about. They were not happy. Oh. Well, yeah, that's all. If I have to choose which is the legit real ending, I'm going with the end edgy Nickelodeon 5 years later that they did after the show ended. Not the one that was a few years later, because that's an actual ending, whereas the other one is planting some seeds for what would have been. I do want this to come back. I won't fake it to come back, but it's what it is. Cried enough for faking it. Not gonna cry for South of Nowhere. That's all.